Hey everyone, and welcome to another GTA Online video here on the channel.
Hello Gilly Master, I hope the world has been kind to you. Nice to see that you're still around, to be honest.
And guys, in this one I want to discuss the current state of PvP in GTA Online. I don't know if it's just me, but as of late, it's just been super horrible. Now, I know a lot of you will probably say it's always been bad, it's never really been good, but as of like the last update, the Chop Shop update, people just don't even play the game anymore, it seems. 95% of the time you try to PvP with someone, they just start EWOing nonstop, or they go into an RC car, or they teleport to their apartment, get a vehicle, then teleport again when you're about to kill them.
The problem is that they are playing the game. It basically makes perfect sense to just cover up the L's you otherwise would take with the teleport. That's, in my opinion, just bad game design or bad game mechanic design, I guess. Who's to blame if they use this? Hate the game, not the players. To the point that GTA Online PvP has never been good. I can recall having many funny hours on this game, to be honest, but as the time has took its part into GTA Online, the whole meta shifted and new vehicles throw the other vehicles off the front, basically. And yeah, that's kind of the problem. We had a really big power creep in regards to the newer things being much more stronger than the older things. At least in my opinion. I totally see your point here. I, for my once humble idiot's opinion, always disliked the Evo culture in the PvP. But who am I to say they're wrong? They're just using the basics, the instruments the game gave them. That's just a game design issue, I guess, because can't blame people for using the stuff that's available. But to be honest, you're kinda shooting yourself in the foot. I can recall you made a video where you basically said it's stupid to punish people for playing the game in the ways that the game can be played, if I remember correctly. And just back to the RC vehicles, no matter what kind of RC you take, if it's the Bandito or the Invade tank, they're just opportunities for a free kill. In my opinion, that's basically just bad game design. I can see what they were trying to achieve, to be honest, but it didn't work out. And no matter what you do, RC will every time you basically have a free kill choice, you're basically punishing the other players for not using the bullshit. So that's just bad game design. Every RC, never mind it's the Bandito or the Invade Pursuit tank or any of the Imani vehicles, you just shouldn't be invulnerable. It doesn't make any sense. But as said before, it's basically a safe gamble. You're not gonna die. All the things that could happen are two things. Rather you get a kill and you're basically 1-0 them for just using bullshit, or you can't die, because what happens if they just blow up the fucking RC Bandito? Nothing. I can recall there was a time where it was a bug. If you killed an RC Bandito with C4, you would get a kill against the other person. I really wish that bug wasn't fixed, to be honest. But that would be one way to fix it. So the other player can do something, and it's a risk to use the RC Bandito. But if the RC Bandito isn't a risk, why the fuck shouldn't you use it? And the same goes for all the Imani tech vehicles, because it's just basically the same. You're just disappearing from the map and can do what the fuck ever you want to. In some point it's even more worse, because they have onboard cannons and some other bullshit like the RAM. Or the Melspec, for example, that's really good at dealing physical damage to players. Nearly one-shotting every fucking one with like 30 game age. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just unfair against the other one. And who's to blame if they say no? I don't want to RC. I don't want to do this shit. I'll just port back, get my car, and being safe from RC. Because on foot it's just a risk. It's just a risk. There's nothing you can do about it. Yes, you can defend yourself. Of course you can. But you're basically taking the L. Anyway, you're taking the L. Rather you're wasting your money on sticky bombs and killing the RC Bandido or the RC or the Buffalo STX or XV5 or what have you. But it's just a loss on your side. As soon as the enemy player plays his card, you're losing something. You're losing resources. You're losing. That's basically it. It's the same problem with the orbital cannon. You can't do anything to counter it. Of course, you against the orbital cannon you can just go hide, no? But it's just bad game design.
It's just been super boring to me. You probably noticed I don't upload PvP videos nearly as often as I used to, and the main reason is because of what I just said. 95% of the time, you're coming across those same exact scenarios over and over again, and it's just a miserable experience.
Yeah, it's a miserable experience. Yeah, of course it is, because that isn't PvP. That isn't risk and reward. That is basically nothing. It is just fucking around. There's nothing more.
Very rarely do you get a good lobby with good PvP anymore in this game. And I would have thought that nerfing the OP explosive cannons and rebalancing the orbital cannon so it can't be spammed would have made some impact on the PvP in the game. And it did make somewhat of an improvement. Not getting spawn trapped by thermal jet cannons is obviously a huge improvement. However, the sad fact is that there are just so many changes that would have to be made to this game, in addition to the ones that have already been made, that I don't really see it ever getting to a point where it's decent again.
The orbital cannon is strangely balanced in this game, to be honest. That's a good point. Because I can recall multiple times getting orbed by one and the same guy, not giving a fuck that he's flushing 7.5 million down the toilet because uncounted money. So there is no point warding off the orbital cannon shot with money. The cooldown, on the other hand, is a great idea, but the cooldown only works as good as people can break it, so if you have basically like 5 minutes work of breaking the cooldown and you can't give a fuck about the cooldown and can orb 20 times in 1 minute again, who's gonna give a fuck? What's that kind of a fix? It's fixing nothing. Basically, it's fixing nothing. And the changes to the laser cannon basically killed it. I can't recall in the last 50 hours of playing in an open online session seeing any laser, to be honest. If someone picked a laser, he made like 1 kill and then got shot out of the air by the Raichu. So, I don't know. Seems to be pretty dead. It's pretty sad, to be honest, because I kinda like the laser. But thermal spawn trapping wasn't really fair. It was basically the same thing with the RC Bandido. You can't do anything. You can't do shit. All you can do is just take the phone and warp, and that's even more bullshit. So who's to blame?
With that being said, I do want to go over the main problems that I think exist in PvP so that maybe something could change. And I also want to go over something at the very end of the video that I think would drastically improve the game. And by the way, these are in no specific order, just in the order that I thought of them in. So number 1, heist warping. And this is tied for the number 1 sleep inducer when it comes to PvP in GTA Online. Someone could come along and kill you, and you decide you want to go and get revenge on that person and kill them back. So you go chase them down, and as you're about to kill them, you realize their dot disappears from the map, and all of a sudden, they are across the map at the facility, so now you gotta go and hide so you don't get orbed. Or they teleport to their apartment and grab a Mark II from the garage.
Of course it's boring, but there is nothing in the game to make them regret this decision. There is no big cooldown on the heist warp. There is no loss of resources, no penalty. There is nothing. They can just do it and don't think about it. That's kind of the problem.
Both actions immediately stop the interaction and or halt it to a stalemate, aka turn it into a snooze fest. And we'll even throw in job teleporting too, just any kind of teleporting across the map mid-fight. Heist warping, I think, needs to have a timer before you actually warp away, or something like passive mode, where if you get a kill on someone, you aren't allowed to teleport away for 2 minutes. But what would be even better is if you had a heist warp timer of like 15 seconds before it actually teleports you, where during those 15 seconds, you have to stand completely still, and if you take any damage or move whatsoever, then it resets the timer and you have to do it again.
The timer would definitely fix the problem, but I don't think it's in Rockstar's interest to play with this. Why should they? I think in their eyes it's just a mode where you just do some shit and some random. I don't think they balance this game for PvP. There's no indication. Otherwise, we would never have got the orbital cannon if they had PvP in mind. I think, frankly, they just don't care, to be honest. As sad as it is, but I think they don't care. Because in their eyes, it's just a sandbox to play around and do stupid shit in.
Kind of like how in Dark Souls, how the homeward bone works, where you use it and you have to wait till the whole animation fully completes before you teleport, which prevents you from using it in the middle of combat, because if you do get smacked, you get taken out of it and have to use it again. Second thing, the RC cars and RC car spam, equally as annoying as heist warping. Some might say even more annoying, because it's the same exact principle. The person teleports away, but this time into an off-radar RC car that they can use to attack you in while being completely safe on their end. And if it blows up, so what? They can call another one and spam them back to back to back to back. RC Bandito, RC Tank, RC Bandito, RC Tank. That's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works, because it's fucking effective. As said before, you don't risking anything. You're not risking anything. But the only thing you can fix this is by putting all of the RC vehicles into one cooldown pool. So if you use the Bandito, you have like the full cooldown on the inward pursuit tank. But they're not gonna do that. So in my opinion, if you want to do it safe and sound, let's say it this way, you would throw them all into the same RC cooldown and make the RC cooldown like 15 minutes or something like that, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, so it doesn't get so spammy anymore. But I don't know if this would even fix this. Because you can still use the Bandito as the one-shot explosion timer and can still drive around with the invading pursuit tank after it. So putting them into the same cooldown pool basically would fix this spamming problem. But it would only fix it if you all still add the other Imani vehicles, the Imani RCVs. Into it. Otherwise it would be just Ring of Roses but the other way around. So at least that's how I see it. Or let's say it this way, at least that's how I envision it to function. If it would function properly.
The third thing on this list is the orbital cannon. Taking away refunds made it more bearable, but it's still another thing that just kills any fun in fights, especially when paired with heist warping. The fact that you can instantly teleport to this insta-kill death cannon is a design feature that should be displayed in game design textbooks as to what to never put in your game. The shit should just be abolished, period. I don't need to say any more because we already know exactly why the orbital cannon is bad. I don't need to waste your time.
Agreed. This piece of shit should have never found its way into GTA Online.
Now for number 4, I'm going to combine a bit into one, and that is vehicle imbalance and vehicle bugs. I love that the Oppressor Mark II is nerfed finally, but it's still annoying as shit to go against in air vehicles. It's still not fun to go against in air vehicles. It ruins genuine air combat just by its existence. And the Raiju, a really, really fun air vehicle, don't get me wrong. However, it's plagued by bugs to where it has no sound sometimes and you can't see its tracers, so you end up getting to a point where the Raiju can sneak up behind you and you can never tell until it's too late because you can't hear it and you can't see it trying to shoot you until you're already taking damage, and it has explosive rounds so your aircraft is already disabled at that point. The no sound bug actually happens to all sorts of aircraft now. I've seen it happen to Sea Breezes, B-11s, Pyros, but it's most annoying with the Raiju because the Raiju is also a stealth jet, so you can't see it on the minimap coming either, nor can you hear it near you. So all around it makes for a very frustrating experience.
Yeah, the vehicle balance is pretty bad though. The problem is every time you have a bug like the sound bug that helps you, it's basically a feature that you have to play around. So it's basically getting buffed by bugs. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty bad. But I don't think they gonna fix it, because look at the flares on literally any fucking air vehicle. They don't work since the fucking day they came out. There were some patches, they tried to fix it, but I guess it never was really high priority. I can remember yesterday I've been shot down in my B11 because my flares wouldn't work. So it's still in the game, and frankly I don't think it's not gonna change. They don't have any reason to. It's not breaking their fucking money cow. They frankly don't care.
And number 5, there is too much goddamn explosive spam in this game. Evo spam with sticky bombs thrown at the feet upon spawn, non-stop. Homing rocket spam, grenade launcher spam, missile spam from vehicles, explosive rounds, the railgun. It's too much. You can't even go around a corner nowadays in PvP to engage someone in a gunfight without getting a rocket shoved up your asshole.
Yeah, but that isn't the problem of GTA PvP 2024. The problem with the explosive spam existed since the ground pound meta on the first day of the game. I can remember taking a really long time to kinda adapt yourself to the situations you use sticky bombs or the grenade launcher or anything explosive, just to have a chance on a kill and be safe by yourself. It's really weird. Half of the kills you could make with an AR are basically gifted kills if you just use an explosive and stay out of range of the other explosive. It's basically just a rocket launcher dick comparison. It's ridiculous. And the problem is, as long as you're gonna have the buying ammo from your inventory in the game, it's not gonna fix it. And even if you remove the buy ammo from inventory, you have so much shit on you as a person. You have, like, if you made the bunker missions, you have like 30 sticky bombs, 30 grenades, 15 of these pipe bombs, 10 proximity mines, then your 20 rockets, your 20 homing missiles. It's just too fucking much. They would have been better off if they just from the start limited you to a pick free system. I can see what they try to achieve with the weapon wheel, so you can use your tools basically as you desire. But in the end, it's just making the spam go much worse, much worse. I don't see this fixed as long as we use a weapon wheel. As long as we have the ability to carry around a rocket launcher, a grenade launcher, and sticky bombs, and so on and so forth, it's not gonna fix it, because it's simply too much. Even though the rockets and the grenades are restricted to 20 and 30 parse, but it's still just too much. And as long as we still have the weapon wheel in the game, it's not gonna change. You basically can't change it. Because to change this, you need to reduce the number of weapons you can carry, or drastically limit the ammunition carried for the weapons. Otherwise, it's not gonna fix it. And I don't think that GTA 5 will receive an overhaul to the weapon system or to the weapon wheel. That's just unrealistic.
Or someone using the explosive pump shotgun that just insta-kills you from one single body shot.
To be honest, I think the HE pump shotgun needs to have two things to function like properly, or to function balanced. Let's say that way. You can't have the aim assist with the pump action shotgun, because it's basically the gamble on the explosive slug shotgun is, if you hit him, you're hit him, and if you don't, you have the pumping animation that takes a pretty long time. That's basically high risk, high reward. or high skill, high reward, just depending on how you look at it. But it doesn't make any sense as long as you have aim assist, because the aim assist does 90% of the skill thing for you. The only thing you're gonna have to do is press L2 to aim and then press R2 to kill. That's everything. That isn't like you have to be pretty precise in close quarters, because being precise in close quarters is pretty difficult. Because everything moves much faster in close quarters than it's far away, logically. So it could be fixed potentially. I don't even think you have to get rid of the one-shot potential, because you said you're getting one pumped. That's the whole idea behind this thing. I think you should get one pumped if you get hit in the head or in the upper chest. That seems pretty balanced to me, because if you don't have the aim assist and you hit that shot, you're kinda have earned you the kill, because it's hard enough.
Ever since Doomsday Heist, though, it's really just been on a steady decline over the years, and it sucks to see as someone who used to love PvPing in this game back like 7 years ago now. And the problems in this video that I listed aren't even all of them. It would take an hour-long video to even explain all of them. These are just the main ones that pop into my head when I think of GTA Online PvP and what I think is wrong with it. However, there is one thing that Rockstar could do to salvage any sort of good PvP in this game, and that is with an entirely new type of free mode lobby that would come with, say, a Cops and Crooks update, for instance. A free mode lobby that hosts all of that new content, all the new Cops and Crooks activities, and in it, weapons are restricted, vehicles are restricted, and properties are restricted. This way, the cops can actually use the cop cars without getting blown up to bits every second. It would essentially go back to the old days with gunfights, car chases, and drive-bys.
I think the Doomsday was pretty much a turning point. I'm gonna give you that. It's basically it basically opened the door for some cheeky, shitty things, because they implemented one of the cheeky, shitty things that was. It was pretty sure that this was a downward spiral. I can remember seeing a video someone made talking about the same thing as you basically did with the Cops and Robbers update. The idea of this person was actually pretty smart. As I thought about it more and more, I realized how smart this person really was. So basically he had the idea of splitting GTA Online into 3 kind of tiers, kind of open lobbies, where you could join individually. If I remember and recall correctly, he said that he thinks the best thing would be to make an event lobbies where people can play all the heists and such, where you basically just do death matches and so on and so forth, survivals and that shit. The second type of lobby was the PvP lobby. It's just basically, as it sounds, just a lobby where it's tried to make the PvP as accessible but as skillful as possible, with all the restrictions being able to be fired from the lobby, like cooldowns and so on and so forth. And the third one was just chaos. And chaos was basically GTA how it is like now. Just make shit. Just do shit. I can't really recall the name of the person who did the video. If someone knows what the fuck I'm talking about, please do send the name or the name of the video down in the comments below. I really need to watch this video again to kind of get my own perspective back. Because the points he made were really, really good. It just made sense. And Gilly Master just said something else that kind of goes into this direction, and I just wanted to give the guy props who made this video. So please, if you know who made this video, please tell me. He was really, really intelligent with his ways he's going to do. It basically would have fixed 99% of the problems. But the idea of Gilling Master is, as I said, basically the same, but with just one lobby. So we kinda need to split the lobbies because there are just too many interests in conflict with another. Basically, I think there's basically no other way to do this. So just to be clear, no, I like Gilly Master. Gilly Master is a pretty cool guy. Don't take this as an actually I hate Gilly Master, but I do something just so anyone would think I am normal. No, I like him. Leave him alone. He's a pretty cool guy. Just to have this said. But some points aren't pretty much fixable as long as we don't divide GTA Online into these three kind of sessions. Believe me, that would really fix much of problems. But what do you think? What do you think is the best way to go onto this problem? How would you fix the problem? Let's have an open-minded discussion in the comment section. And as said, if someone remembers the name of the video or have seen this video a short time before, don't be afraid. Just write it down in the comment section. If I see it, I will link it down. So that's all. Stay awesome, Gilly Master. You are a fucking legend.